What up, Insane Rhetoric? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's happening? What's going on with y'all? Here we are again with the world going haywire and crazy. So, what's up, sister? How you
Good.
doing?
I, I'm doing good.
Yeah,
It's
that's
it's
wonderful.
I'm doing good. I'm doing fabulous.
Fabulous. Hey,
Fabulous.
I ain't heard that one in a minute. Fabulous. Like Fabuloso? Fabulous.
That stuff stinks.
Why do everybody say it smell good if it's thing?
My sensibilities, my senses are different than everybody else. I do not like fabuloso.
Hmm. It was good for cleaning hallways. It's like,
Mm-mm.
nah, I'm saying in one of the places I worked in, I rather smell Fabuloso than like, nursing home. It's like, no.
To me, I walk in a nursing home and smell some fabuloso. It just smells like nursing home and fabuloso mixed, and it just really doesn't smell good to me.
Yeah.
Smells even worse than the fabuloso. It's like the
Mhm.
fabuloso made it worse. Mm,
Yeah. Well,
I'm just,
so like one of the things I wanted to just bring up today is
oh Lord.
it ain't bad for us, it's bad for somebody. So
Oh Lord.
Lord help us today, Lord Jesus, help us
Can
today.
we have a moment of silence?
Let us bow our heads and pray. Listen, so I was reading this article about your boy R. Kelly. He
What,
ain't doing so hot.
oh,
Aura,
what happened to
Aura.
Aura?
Yeah, Aura ain't doing so hot. I was
Bill
listening.
talking about going on another tour.
Who?
Bill
Bill who? Cosby?
Cosby.
For what? Tour
Yeah,
what?
he's setting up a comedy tour. He's setting up comedy.
Who gonna be on the roster?
I don't know if it's just him or what, but like he going back to his roots, like where he started out.
I don't suggest that.
But I think a lot of people would pay to go see him.
I believe that, but I'm looking at the fact is the mind stable enough to handle that? Because you jump out there and talk about a tour, and Bill is what, 80 something,
Mm-hmm.
98? How old is he?
He 80 something.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
he in his 80s.
So not saying that Bill doesn't have that mind like that anymore, but
What you
I,
trying to say about old people?
I don't try to say anything. I either say it or I do not say it.
Okay, what you saying about old people?
I don't think he has the mindset right now. Now, if you want to put your foot in that shoe, that's on you. But I'm simply saying I don't has that mindset when it comes to being able to fight off hecklers, you know what I'm saying? And different things that, might come, like how comedy shows are running right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't even know if Bill is that sharp and witty anymore
They
with his.
probably gonna have security guards standing around stage to keep the people from coming up.
They didn't do that for Chris Rock.
He wouldn't do it. Oh, yeah, he would.
I was gonna say, what you mean? They
They
didn't do
didn't have
it
that for
for
Dave Chappelle either.
they didn't do it for Dave Chappelle.
Anyway, what you got to say about Aura? I got
Oh,
us all up to
I'm just saying, like I was listening to the front part of the review. It's like, well, Aura is in trouble and his sentence has been handed down, and he can't turn back the hands of.
where he been in trouble. Well, I
Nah,
don't
but I'm just
understand. I don't
saying like
understand.
they doing something with his sentence where it's gonna be more time than what he originally thought. But we knew that. We knew they was gonna hand him something else on it. So,
I mean, we're dealing with the Mann Act here. Like, of course.
yeah, it's
We talked about this in season 1.
yeah. I remember.
They
I was
they've
just
been doing the Mann Act for a long time. They tried to get Jack Johnson for the Mann Act.
yeah, I remember that. I remember that. For those who don't know who Jack Johnson was one of the first black heavyweight boxers, but he wasn't recognized for a little bit, and then they finally gave it to him because he used to date a white woman. And during that time, it wasn't.
I don't think it was just about the fact that he was dating the white woman, though.
No, I just had to throw that part in.
Because I think he actually loved the white woman.
I think so too.
But I think it was more about the fact that he kind of like did whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah.
He did what he wanted to do. He said what he wanted to say. Like,
yeah, you're right.
They don't like us when we say what we want to say and do what we want to do.
That's what I heard. I heard they don't like y'all when y'all rebel.
Yeah. Like in a way, I kind of not really, but just like imaginary, kind of wish I was around and friends with Nat Turner.
Oh, to have some more slaves get away.
Well,
or to see if the story was true when he was supposed to cut that white man's throat.
Yeah, the rebellion and all of that. Like, what really happened?
Right. Because it don't never go like they say.
What did he really say?
Right.
What did he really do? He was outspoken.
That was the case.
So, what happened?
He was probably the NFL football specimen of his time, and they
had CTE and everything too.
Oh my God, CTE go back there for?
Yeah, CTE. They didn't know about CTE back then. You finished talking about R. You finished talking. Go finish talking about R.
Oh, we cool on R, but I do want to get into like one of the things that has been pressing, and I know it's probably been pressing you too, is the situation with this gun situation. The gun, like what's going on? What's the problem? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Like, do people just not respect anybody anymore, and just like we just want to just a free for all and just go do what we want to do? Is that the case?
Yeah. I was reading something say the police chief in Uvalde, he didn't have his radios with him. He purposely left his radios because he said listening to all of the chatter was going to slow him down in his response time to get to the school.
Well, didn't they get there an hour later?
Right.
So wouldn't it matter if he had it with him or not, huh?
How much slower could he have been with the radios?
He probably couldn't. He probably wouldn't have made it until the following day if he had the radios. Maybe.
That was interesting. I mean, interesting as in strange, not interesting as like.
But you know what I think? I think like, because I have some family in law enforcement and an array of different disciplines. I believe this. They don't want to be shot and killed either. You know what I'm saying?
I know they don't. Of course not.
No, but I'm just saying.
Subscribe. Push the subscribe button.
I'm just saying, like, I know for a fact that police show up late until all the shooting is over. So whoever are stretched out in the streets or whatever, what have you, they ain't trying to get there when it's active. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, if that's the case, then don't be a police. You know what I'm saying?
The
Because
police said that all police try to do that. I don't think
nah, I ain't
I
say
can't. I
all,
can't imagine all the police don't want to get there when they shoot. I
but,
mean,
but that's your
I'm not
job.
saying they
That's
just
your
want to
job.
be in the middle of shooting. I'm just saying like it's their job. So do they
Listen,
not want to go do their job?
yeah, that's the case. Like, if you know you are police in a high crime area, what they call high crime, and you respond to a call and you know where it's at, you gonna drag your feet, especially if you hear them famous words, shots fired. You ain't gonna get there early because you already know that what the consequences could be. Now, if you in a well-to-do neighborhood, then police respond fast. They be there within 1 or 2 minutes because they know that they ain't faced with no gunfight. So I mean, but I'm gonna say this: please, police officers, take off the marquee on the side of the vehicle, serve and protect, because you're only serving and protecting one group of people. You need to take that off. Just saying. Because the stuff that's going on in neighborhoods, man, I don't think should be happening. But if you go back to if you retroact the days of old, then you think about like when police knew each other, they knew the people were the neighborhood that they were serving, and they was actually generally trying to help those people. Wherever we fell off, well, not me, wherever they fell off, they need to go back and pick that up, because the only reason you can't deal with the people like that is because you don't have no relationship with people. So I don't know, but it seems that it's catching on, mass serial shootings done by brown and white people, not black people, brown and white people. Seems like it's catching on. So you got Buffalo, Uvalde, Baltimore. So, I guess it's the end thing to do.
Yeah, a couple of days ago here in Houston, somebody walked into a business.
Seriously.
Hmm.
I ain't heard about that one.
Yeah.
What was it? What side of Houston was it near? Just mm-hmm.
I'm becoming okay. I'm not saying okay. So I'm not gonna say I think
Desensitized.
no. I'm not completely desensitized, but it's like you know how you tune your children out.
Yeah,
You might not. Okay.
I know exactly what you mean.
So you hear. So you hear what your child is doing, but you can focus on something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right there now.
You know what? I think I've been right there for a long time. Somebody asked me when we was talking about some of the mass murders, the shootings in school. And I said, man, I don't pay that no attention, because once you get used to hearing something and then you grow up in areas where you hear that all the time, and then you constantly hear it, you just block it out. It has become a part of life, which is sad. And he was like, you should have more empathy through it. For no, I shouldn't, because if I take on somebody else's weight and struggle about what they're going through, then that makes my life much harder. I think you come to a point where you have to block out certain things to keep you moving. You know what I'm saying? In whatever capacity that works in. Me and you talked about some things that you went through, and you had to face those things to move forward. And it's like that with me. I came out of a bad neighborhood, but I turned out pretty good, So it don't mean everybody succumb to those situations, but you still need to know how to deal with those situations when you encounter them. Because if you let everybody drop stuff at your doorstep, you'll be what they call them people a weary wart, and you probably won't live long because your stress level will be so high. You got to learn how to block stuff out, because people now are doing things just on a whim, just to do them, just to get notoriety. Like, I don't think they even have come to find out what that young man, that 18-year-old young man, went down there for. What was the reason? Because you definitely went in school with them kids unless you was just that stupid that you hung around the elementary school that long for them to come along and wait for them. So I don't know. The guy that drove down to Buffalo, New York, we still don't know what caused that. So
so one thing that I've noticed in the last, I would say 2 weeks, 2 weeks, I can pinpoint it, 2 weeks, I've really come to understand, or not, no, I don't understand, but I've come to be more aware that people nowadays, so we're so accustomed to text message and technology, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that in some ways, not always, not every way, because I'm not against technology, people. How could I be against technology? I'm sitting up here on YouTube. Okay. I'm not against technology.
Right.
But I think in some ways it has taken away our ability to think for ourselves, right? For some people more than most.
Yeah.
Okay. And we don't think, my mother and my grandparents and my mother and my grandmother used to say, you have to think beyond the nose on your face.
Yep.
Right.
I got
so
that.
Here's my nose. If I'm only thinking this far, I've got nowhere, right?
Right, absolutely.
But if I think forward, critical thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Progressive thinking.
So people are reactive rather than proactive for the most part.
Yeah.
Because they only can think as far as a text message.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A little short blurb.
Yeah.
I can only fix this problem here first. Okay. Oh, now that happened because of this. Oh, now I can fix this. Right? So I read an article. This is still about gun violence, y'all. But y'all know I gotta break it down. Okay. So I read an article about Kyle Rittenhouse. He back in the news.
For shooting somebody else?
No. So he's a little youngster too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now it's time to go to college. He want to go to Texas. Texas A&M. He want to be an Aggie.
He want to be a who?
Either UT or Texas A&M. One of them. Longhorn Aggies.
Mm.
Okay. I can't remember which one. I think it's UT. UT. I'm not going to look it up, y'all, because I don't care. It's one of the two big schools we have here. It's one of those two. We have several huge schools in Texas because Texas got like most of the universities. We got a lot of universities in Texas.
Right. A whole lot of them.
Okay. But the ones that a lot of people know about, Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
And University of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Longhorns and their rivals.
Yep.
Longhorns and the Aggies, agricultural people, Aggies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse announced that he was gonna be coming to Texas to go to school. The school immediately said, "Oh no, he's not. Oh no, he's not accepted here."
I wonder why they said that.
Well, number one, because he's not. He's not officially accepted into the school, but he was announcing that he would be coming to Texas to go to college. And now, after that came out, after the school responded, no. Well, no, nah, he not accepted here. Now, Kyle Rittenhouse is saying that the media, I want you to think back to George Zimmerman. Kyle Rittenhouse is saying that the media hurt him, that everywhere he goes, he gets death threats and people say bad things about him in the news. Well, right. Sir,
stupid.
You did not think beyond the nose on your face. You did this as a little child. Well,
he ain't black, so he can't.
You were catapulted into this conversation that's going on right now about gun violence, about Black Lives Matter, about a whole lot of stuff, really. Okay. And you got off scot-free. You don't know your history because you probably would have thought twice, because the same thing happened to George Zimmerman. You was down there talking about you needed to go help the police.
And see, that's another thing, man. Like, if that would have been like, you know, like let me say this. I don't like ignorance. Let me say it like this.
Well,
I really despise ignorant people. So that can be anybody. But when you go down and say you finna help the police and you are not a police, I got a problem with the system letting somebody walk freely with an AR-15 to go do bodily harm when it ain't their job. Because to me, that's murder.
Well, a court of his peers didn't think it was murder.
I don't give a hell what they thought. Because, like, if the situation was reversed for any other ethnicity, they would have been either stretched out or under the jail.
Well, he feeling it now.
No, he ain't feeling nothing, because just because a school responds to your request to, you know, do whatever, say they ain't accepting you, or you ain't been accepted, or you probably ain't enrolled because you probably ain't that doggone bright no way. So my thing is, you'll feel that when somebody is really putting their hands on you, to me. You know, like I say, like you said with George Zimmerman, and you know, you running around talking about what you did and how you got off or whatever. what they say, oh, older people say, karma is the son of a gun. It'll come back and grab you.
You got Smithsburg, Maryland, gun violence. 3 people was gunned down
Wow.
recently. Like, and then, I mean, they just passed that, well, they passed it in Congress. Lindsey Graham say it's not gonna pass in the Senate. But that Our Kids Act, Gun Act,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's supposed to be protecting the kids. But Lindsey Graham came right out as soon as it was passed in the House. Lindsey Graham came on. Okay, we know about Lindsey Graham.
Right.
Lindsey Graham came on and said, "No, it's not. I'm telling you now, it's not gonna pass in the Senate." That's what Lindsey Graham said.
This is my thing. This is my thing about guns. It ain't the gun fault. Let me speak real uneducated to people. It ain't the gun fault.
Come on, say it. Say it.
What? What?
I like when people say it. Come
What?
on, say it.
What?
Guns don't. This is what the NRA said. Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
And that's the truth. And that's why Lindsey Graham is probably saying what she's saying, because
you calling
one thing you can't.
Wait a minute, stop. Why you gonna call Lindsey Graham a she?
Nah, you know what I meant. I meant to say, it's a he, but I forgot that, Lindsey Graham, like that's a pretty much girl's name. So
I swear, I told you in season 1. You know what I told you in season 1. I think President Trump is able to expose Lindsey Graham for some pictures in women's underwear, lacy underwear.
Probably.
Because he keeps saying some stuff that's off the wall. And he was one of those that was behind closed doors saying he didn't really want to do some of the stuff he be talking about.
Yeah, right. I mean, like I say, what is that? Your Second Amendment right, the right to bear arms. You can go buy whatever you want to buy, but how you use it in the act that you use it in, that's a humanistic decision. That ain't got nothing to do with the weapon itself. I remember when they put a ban on assault rifles, that didn't last long at all, because they knew how much money they was losing. And like maybe 3 months after they put the ban on, 3 months later, they lifted it, because that's what people buy. You know what I'm saying? The AR-15 is one of the popular assault rifles. I mean, it is what it is.
This act has not put a ban on it, but they've raised the age limit. They've put some limits to it, but they didn't ban it.
But and I get that. And I get that. But this is what I'm saying
about Children Act.
This is what I'm saying. The people who are killing people normally, 80% of them are probably criminals. I'm just gonna shoot a number. The other 20% would be law-abiding citizens. What I mean by that is this: you have more criminals with guns that are unregistered than you do people with guns that are registered. The thing about the criminal side of it, of the gun violence, is they ain't going to register their gun. They're not going to. They're not going to go through no type of checkpoint to make sure clear for a gun. Criminals get them from arms dealers, and sometimes they are robbing pawn shops and trains to get these type of things. So how is that going to help the situation as a whole? It's not. If I was to go out and do a crime with a weapon, first of all, if I'm not in my house, I'm definitely not going to use my gun that's registered directly to me with my fingerprints on it. And that's the thing that you're dealing with. When people are getting charges for gun violence, like now I don't know the history about that guy that just went down there to Uvalde and killed them people. I don't know his history at all. But
he was 17.
Right.
The next day he turned 18.
Right.
He went to the gun store and bought the gun.
And I get that.
Went down to the.
I get that. But I'm saying I don't know his history. Because
we don't have background checks anymore.
Right. But see, and that's what I'm saying. And see, this is the thing. You can't really discriminate against a person who's going to buy a gun because, first of all, if you can pay, if you in certain states, you don't have a felony, a certain class A felony, or any type of assault or abuse, then they will sell you a weapon. But that ain't got nothing to do with your history of mental illness because they can't treat that and scan that in a 20 to 30 minute purchase. So what are you gonna do? So that's the thing. Like, criminals are not going to buy guns legitimately. That's why they're criminals, because they can't get it to go into a store and buy and purchase a gun knowing that they have a record. So they're getting it off the street. The problem with that, and the government don't want to really tell you what the deal is. The problem with that are the arms dealers that's high up that are putting these things on the street for people to buy. And guess who's not shipping that stuff in? Blacks. They ain't shipping them in. They don't own no ships to float no dope in the country or fly it in. That's the government. So if you want to put a handle on that, you know how to shut down your borders. Come on, man. This is all has been a game. The whole structure of the United States was built on corruption. And if y'all don't like that, whatever, like, subscribe, and follow, and go read your history. So that's what I'm saying. Can they really stop the act of active shooters in schools and different places? Like the last part that you said.
No, they can't stop it any more than the governor of Texas can eradicate rape.
Oh my God. Abbott, what is you saying down there? Yeah, you can't. You can't.
Listen, okay, y'all know my brain. Well, you don't know my brain, but y'all have witnessed that my brain goes and connects with different stuff. Just go with me here. It's so much different type of violence. We are now focused on gun violence because so many of our little bitty babies, like I think it's like 25 mass shootings this year already.
They catching on, and there's gonna be more of them.
Well, a lot of people changed their gun laws in September last year. Okay, but I'm sitting here thinking about the rest of the violence. So, okay, Ice-T. Ice-T. Anybody know Ice-T? I love you, Ice-T. Just
The
okay.
rapper.
I love you, Ice-T. Just okay, don't take offense, Ice-T. I love you. I love you, man. I love you.
I know you ain't finna bring up that movie.
Ice-T had a song before he really got into his acting game. He was just all full on rapping. Ice-T had a song where he described using a flashlight in a particular way with a woman.
Yeah, I remember.
Did I say it nicely?
I remember it.
Yeah, Insane Rhetoric listeners, don't make me say it.
Say it, say it, say it, say it, say it, say
it. He describes how he's being forceful with this woman that he's having relations with, using a flashlight to penetrate her. Did I say it nicely?
I guess that's as nice as you can get it.
Okay. And there was a lot of conversation about it at the time. And this is how gangsta rappers all said they related to this particular type of violence to a woman. It happened in their world. It's the way it went down. So here's my thing. Okay, I tell you, y'all know it takes me a while to get to the connection. We could pass laws, make sure these laws get on the books about assault rifles, because our children are being killed in the schools or driving down the street with their daddy, right? Or, you're walking into a FedEx and you're just shooting people. Okay, we can make laws about that. But the violence against women, we overlook.
Yeah. Yeah.
We turn, okay, we pull away, we overturn laws, Roe versus Wade.
You think it overturned?
It's getting ready to get overturned. It's getting ready to get. It's only been leaked that they was talking about it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. In Texas, it's been overturned.
Is it?
In Texas, it's against the law to get an abortion past 6 weeks.
Oh well, yeah, we talked about that. I was talking about indefinitely, like with the statement Governor Abbott was talking about in the rape situation.
Okay, so I'm just saying, we actively like, we got to gun violence.
Yeah,
and I agree. Well, what about the rest of the violence?
Yeah, it only matters when people see it blatantly, and if they don't see that everybody else is being violated, against in some form or fashion, it is horrible. My thing is, I don't give 2 cents about laws being on the books. laws being on the books and laws being enforced is two different things. If you can write up a law and say we're gonna pass this and put it in, but don't enforce it, what's the point?
Well, if you only enforce it for some and enforce it and don't enforce it for others, then the numbers are wrong.
Yeah, highly wrong. But that's what I'm
But
saying.
you still have numbers to justify that you've done your job. You see what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying?
called padding. You know, you really ain't done jack, but it just looks good on paper. So that I don't advocate for no type of violence. And no, my name is not Martin Luther King. You
Hey,
know,
we all just get along.
oh my God.
You like the way I put those two together?
Riley, I'm sick of these ignorant. Dr. King, you gotta get up, Dr. King. I'm tired, Huey. I'm tired. I'm just saying, listen.
We got Rodney King and Dr. King. Hey, we all just get along.
No. But I have a dream that has become a nightmare.
So we had a man broke out of jail here in Texas recently.
He
Last
wasn't
few
the
days.
slasher thrasher guy, was he? I read one that
Yeah.
says somebody
Killed
got
a family.
oh. What happened? He just broke out. He had nowhere to go.
He was on one of the buses being
I
transported.
got no place to go.
He was on a bus being transported. He escaped. Killed us.
Now, I know that Texas has some of the worst prisons than any other state. How they let that happen?
And I do believe at one point, I don't know if it's still true, but at one point in the 90s, we as a state, Texas, did the most executions.
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. I mean, shoot, you heard the slogan, hang 'em high, Texas. Just saying. Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Y'all like my Charlie Brown face?
Don't act like you don't know. You know. So
I'm just saying, there's so much violence. Like it's so much violence in our time, in our world. I mean, even when you talk about the violence just from words, right? Like
yeah,
people just say ugly things to each other for no apparent reason.
I think we should just all pack up and move to different countries where you don't have these problems.
So
Like India, you know the crime rate in all of India, how low that is.
but here's the problem though. It's what happened with America. I've seen it here in Texas in my lifetime, like in Houston in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the indigenous people behaving in a certain way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have people who come to visit and stay,
Mm-hmm.
bringing their ways from their region, from their tribe, from their whatever.
Immigrants.
Then our life, our community changes because now we have the melting pot.
Mm-hmm.
America was where they sent the prisoners.
There in American and where else?
Australia.
Australia.
It's where
Exiled them.
it's where they sent. You like Peaky Blinders, right? You like Peaky Blinders, right?
Oh yeah, the new season is out. Yeah, new season is out. Oh yeah, and check out the new season for P-Valley too.
Yeah, I only watched one season of that.
Of P-Valley?
Yeah.
Well, they only had what I think it was the first season, how many episodes they had, and then I don't remember, but they dropped one out yesterday, I think about 9 o'clock. So they building up their episodes. Okay. But you was gonna say about the Peaky Blinders, because that's my show too. And they got new episodes. Don't
tell me because I gotta go find it.
I ain't even gonna say nothing. I ain't even started watching it yet. I just know that it's out. Shout out to whoever created the Peaky Blinders. I don't remember the guy who created it or woman who.
And I think it's getting ready to be the last season.
But shouts out to y'all because that show is the deal. Tommy is the.
I think it's about to be the last season.
Oh, okay. But back to the Peaky Blinders, you saying?
Yeah, Peaky Blinders. Okay. So in that show, I'm sorry if you ain't watched it, but spoiler alert. Okay. So in that show, I think it's the last season they had where they sent Polly's son to America.
Mm-hmm.
And he had one set of morals and values.
Mm-hmm.
He went to America, got his American gal, started doing things the American way, which is why they sent him there, because they were trying to send the goods there and have a market there. And, okay. He makes a connection with the gang that's there, because like that was part of the problem when they were sending their stuff, was that the gang that was already in America was trying to move in and all of that. So he sent them there to have another source of income, another stream of income.
Right.
And to learn that process, right? But what happened was the nephew came back, Polly's son came back with the girl and the American ways from all them criminals that England had already sent over there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. He sent them to New York.
Of course.
That's where they would go.
Yep.
They already had a system in place by the time this year that they were, this year that they were sending this nephew over there. They already had a system of how it worked.
Right.
Because they had the different tribes and gangs from a long time ago. Right?
Yeah.
We're not going to get into all of that right now, but he came back and now he brought his new ways back with him, and he's pushing up against his uncle.
Mm-hmm.
He's setting up against his uncle. Because he want to be in charge now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The
way of the world.
This is the way it is. This is so much the way it is. Let me tell you. So recently, because of my age and, some of the different experiences that I've had, my journey, It's a lot of stuff I can do. A lot of stuff I choose not to do, but it's a lot of stuff I can do. I was just sharing with my co-host about some that I had to learn how to do last night that I didn't know how to do. And I learned how to do it and came up with something very nice. So that's kind of the thing in my family. Like, we could do stuff like that. We smart like that.
That's all that, like I say, man, that's all that matters, man.
But here's the deal though. Recently, somebody said to me that, I'm talking and they saw potential in me to be of some leadership role.
Mm-hmm.
And because they saw it, they just assumed that that's what I want in their space.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need it in their space. I have created my own now, right? For myself. I don't need to be in your leadership role. And so I said, I don't want a leadership role.
Yeah.
But ever since that happened, they have been talking to me crazily because they assume that I must want a leadership role in their space.
That's because people don't know how to accept what a person tells them. Just because you win a job doesn't mean that you want to be out front. I know several people who have very good jobs, but they don't like to be out front. They don't want to be seen all the time. They don't want to be dealing with this all the time. They rather sit in the background and work. Everybody do not want to lead.
But I brought up that story because people are you have forgotten the science that we are animals, right? We are mammals. So that basic instinct of, fight, flight, fear, push, those basic animal instincts do come out. They do. So if you have a world where we are now accepting that it's okay for people to say whatever they want and for them to do whatever they want. And then here we come from different environments and stories. We come from different journeys, right? And so we bring all these different things to each other, but we're doing whatever we want. Whatever we want. Because we have to be politically correct. We can't have, we have to make sure we're not being harassing, like all these things. So if we want to go get a gun and shoot somebody, and if we want to rape somebody, and if we want to cut somebody.
But that's the American way. That's freedom and liberty.
My country is of thee, sweet land of liberty.
Listen, you can't tell me. You can't tell me that I can't go out and shoot somebody.
Land where my fathers died.
I'm just saying that's infringing. That's infringing on my liberty, on my
from every mountainside. Okay, yeah, I know I can't sing. Let freedom ring.
I mean, that's what it is. That's your ability to do anything you want is the marquee that the United States that they try to sell to everybody. This is the land
My
of the free.
country is a... Okay, I'm gonna stop singing.
This the land of the free, the home of the brave. No, this is the land of murderers, thieves,
The
and rapists.
sweet land of liberty.
Listen, but what I was saying though, at the time that I read this, India, as big as India is, had a 3% crime rate. And you know, that was like crazy to me. But then I started thinking about how their system works. They don't have due process at all. Once they catch you in the crime, depending on what the crime is, they whack you off. You steal something, they cut off your hand. You rape somebody, they castrate you. It's pretty much down the line. It doesn't.
It's like that in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, everywhere else except the United States. That's why it is important for you to know international law when you go anywhere. Prime example, Brittany Griner.
She didn't even do anything but step off the plane.
But you still got to know international law. What you can do in the United States don't mean you can do that anywhere else. What you have on your person in the United States, they'll probably flag that off and be like, oh man. In other countries, oh, that's 15 years jail time. So you got to think from the get-go, Russia has been a communist country. China has been a communist country. You know, so you think about those dynasties.
China wasn't always communist. But okay, I get your point.
Thank you. But you think about those dynasties that has reformed different things down through the years to make things better for people. That you just need to know. You know what I'm saying? You just need to know what to abide by and what to make sure that you are doing or not doing that can cause you to be in a place where you don't want to be. And the screwed up part about that is they got everybody out except her. That shows you furthermore how they look at you. Everybody that was held captive, but her is the only one that hasn't been released yet. And then when she went to court, they extended her stay for 30 more days. So I don't know where that's at right now, but kind of funny, ain't it? Kind of ironic.
Yep.
Hey, I'm just saying. We got anything else? Because this is crazy.
Yeah, y'all, we need to put out. I'm gonna tell y'all again. Y'all know I say this all the time. I'm gonna tell y'all like I tell my little children, put your listening ears on. And listen more.
That means you have to stop talking first. See, like I say, all right.
Everybody stop talking, please.
Put the Band-Aid on the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should just start going around just sewing people lips shut that ain't beneficial.
You know what I need to do? I need to go get me a nice box, good amount of Band-Aids. And when people start talking crazy, I need to just pull one out and put it on my mouth.
And walk away.
Yeah.
They're going to say, we need to call the asylum. Can you order us a straight jacket, please? We're located at 3415 Plano, Texas. Please, we have a situation. You walk around with a Band-Aid on your mouth.
Oh, I'll take it off as soon as I walk away.
No, I'm just saying, you just think about like people would like, what is going on? They'll try to have you committed. Because they don't understand. They would try to have you committed.
Yeah.
That's all you need is a good Becky on there. I was scared for my life. She just pulled out a Band-Aid and just ripped it open and then placed it over her mouth. I didn't know if that was the new COVID-19 mask or what, but I was nervous. I got scared and I called the authorities.
It might as well be the new COVID-19 mask.
Man, listen, I don't even want to talk about that.
Look, people don't put the mask over their nose anyway, like they're supposed to.
Listen, I don't even want to talk about that.
They have it down here.
The CDC.
They have it right here.
The CDC, I don't think the CDC has a clue what's happening. They're just saying something just to put people at ease. I'm like,
it's on the rise again.
Like you up, you down, you in, you out. Like the CDC, like.
Well, listen,
man.
I work somewhere where they don't wear masks, but they just be all up on each other. Okay. I went to work there, and somebody already had COVID. So they were all wearing their masks, but they told me, oh no, so-and-so is at home, but they don't have COVID.
Then why they at home?
And so they just told us to just wear the mask just to be safe, but they don't have COVID. So we get on a Zoom call and the person says, yes, since I've been in quarantine, since all of us got sick with COVID.
Right. See how they be lying?
So this one saying, you can't completely say the CDC don't know what they're doing. I'm not disputing how you feel or anything like that. I'm just saying that I'm giving the other part to it, that you got people who are ill and they're sharing their germs.
I agree with that.
Right. So it's back on the rise.
I'm just saying,
we are so wanting to not wear our masks. We're so wanting to be normal. But all of the things that came out in us when we felt trapped during that 3 months, 6 months, however long, because I think New York was longer than in Texas, it was like 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I think like places like New York, it was like California, Los Angeles, it was like 6, 7 months.
Yeah.
Okay. So all of those things that came out in us when we felt like we were trapped. Animal instinct is out here now. It's out here. Can't reel it back in. It's out.
But see, like that's what I'm saying though. So it's like the nation is so topsy-turvy on everything. 1 week is this, the next week is that. On everything. This is all I'm saying. If you have a pandemic, and then you know that the pandemic and you need to wear a face covering, and you have conditioned people to start doing it, just leave it in place. Before even COVID came out of Wuhan, China, because they have so many reactors over there in that country, air pollution is high all the time. They run around with masks all day in that culture, all day. So that's affecting their quality of air because they got all those reactors around. But they leave that mask mandate in place for them because of that reason. And if you know that the corona is out here and is blowing up, like just leave the mask mandate into until it just completely I'm gonna pull an Avid word, eradicates COVID. Just leave them alone. But they're going back and forth and people changing the plan. Well, it's up here, so we gonna reenact the mask mandate and do this, and now you got to get 3 more boosters after the booster. Just leave it in place and go from there. And if it starts to dwindle and then dwindle out, then okay. But you already know, like, people gonna do what they want to do anyway. But as far as the structure of it, just leave the stuff in place, man. And then you don't have all them issues. Restaurants know what they gotta do. They gotta figure out a way to make sure people are safe. Distance, whatever, if you got a distance 10 feet away, whatever. But once you have policies enacted, you can know how to build for your business to make sure that you're constantly making money without having to worry about, oh, you got to quarantine for 3 days, you got to quarantine for 14 days, 10 days. Just leave it in place and keep it moving. That's all I'm saying about the CDC.
I like the restaurants that didn't change how they do stuff. Like they came out of COVID and they just kept curbside. They came out of COVID and they still only allow, when you go into there, they still got the little dots on the floor for you to social distance.
Social distance. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's
they still got the sanitizer on there. They still got the.
Yeah,
I like those restaurants. Anyway.
But that's it. Though, like I say, I ain't got no problem with the CDC, just other than y'all information changes every 2 seconds. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It is like, man, pick something and stick with it.
Okay, real quick, because we gotta go. What you talk about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard? What's that for? What's that? Who we raising the roof for?
He got his name.
Team Johnny Depp.
Yeah, he got his name cleared. I can appreciate that. I think the dude is weird as all outside, but I remember him when he was getting started, when he was on a show called 21 Jump Street years ago. When Johnny Depp.
21 Jump Street. Oh, we're not talking about the movie that came out that was a comedy.
Yeah, nah. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about it was way before that movie. I think that show came out in like the 80s.
Oh,
yeah, like it was way back there.
Oh, okay.
So I appreciate him as an actor, and and I'm just glad that he got his name cleared and he was awarded his money. You know what I'm saying? Now
Amber Heard been having to sell all kinds of stuff, try to pay him.
Well, what she thought was,
and the hotel she was staying in, they say, oh my God, she was spending a lot of money a day.
No,
while she was in trial.
But she ain't, she ain't gonna be spending too much now because she gotta pay out 15 million, I think.
You gotta pay her a little bit too, though.
Yeah, pay her 15 million.
Yes.
I think it was awarded to him 15 million, but he's going to wind up getting like 10 million out of that 15. So I mean, I think Johnny Depp is weird. Like, he's strange and he's a good actor, and he's
okay. So I'm not gonna spoil it, but we're talking about Johnny Depp, so. They got a new Grindelwald in the Secrets of Dumbledore movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They got Johnny Depp wasn't in it. He didn't reprise his role. Somebody else. You know how they, like, when Dumbledore, the guy that played Dumbledore, died, they just got a new Dumbledore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they just got a new Grindelwald.
Wonder who that can be.
I know who it is. Yeah, I don't. Y'all just go. You can see it on. I think it's on. I think it's on HBO Max.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it was cool that he won his case, and for another time you didn't see a woman just doing what she wanted to do in a situation and just ripping through a guy and just taking everything he had. And like he and then the thing I like about him, he reminded me, this is way far-fetched, he reminded me of Tina Turner. He was getting abused in situations and he just said, man, I want my name. And that spoke volumes for me, because it's just like, dude, you ain't fighting for the money situation. You fighting because your name is so respected in Hollywood for doing Pirates of the Caribbean, the Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory, and all those types of movies that you have been in down through the years. Yeah, I would want my name too. So make sure that, hey, I can still eat. I can go out here and do what I gotta do and make sure that I'm cool. So I can respect that. Like I say, Tina did the same thing. Is give me my name. You can take all that other garbage, because I can make that 10 times over.
So, well, Mia Farrow and was it Ethan Hawke, or I think it was Mia Farrow and Wayne's World boy.
The one with the dark hair?
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think it's him. I don't think it's Ethan Hawke. I think it's Keanu Reeves and Mia Farrow. They recently was like, like they came out against Johnny Depp.
Like, I mean, listen, I'm gonna tell you like this.
I think that thing is that regardless of what she was doing, he never should have done whatever he did to her as a man.
First of all, I'm gonna say it like this. It shouldn't go that way at all.
Right.
You should.
Everybody should keep their hands to themselves.
Yeah. Like, you just like.
Unless we having sex.
Oh God. I'd like to see somebody pull that off. Like, I'm keeping my hands to.
Right, see? I mean, we had to make that clarification. I'm sorry.
So, like, I mean, I think that, like, you should respect people's space. I do not like, matter of fact, I absolutely hate people who are close talkers.
Yeah.
I hate it. Especially if your breath stink. Please don't get in my face talking. And because I don't know if you can hold your water, you might have spaces in your teeth, and just spitting all the time, and then your breath hot. I just ain't got time for that. Stay back some.
I need you to make the connection now. Make the connection.
Yeah, I'm making it. Don't stay back and don't put your hands on me. Okay. That's it. Like, you can say what you want to say. I don't have to react to it, but don't put your hands on me, because when you put your hands on somebody, you're instantly asking for problems, especially if you don't know them, and then you want to talk like what's up? Like, I mean, look, stay over there and say what you want to say, and I'm going about my business. So let's ride.
We're going. Y'all got to subscribe though.
Yeah, y'all got to subscribe, like, and follow down the yellow brick road. You gonna take us out?
Yeah. Okay, listen. I thought he was gonna take us out, but okay. Listen. Y'all follow us. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Come on. Listen to us. We got some old shows out there. Season 1, season 2. Got some shows out there. All the different platforms for podcasts. So choose the one you like and go on in there, listen, like, follow.
That's okay? It.
And remember, just remember to enjoy the ride Y'all listen, y'all. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me tell y'all something.
Just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, I want y'all to remember that, as always, to enjoy the ride that is Insane Rhetoric, baby.
Roderick, you know what it is. Insane. We out.
We out. My co-host just said today, he said, we out this piece.